The enigma of ghost ships remains one of the world's greatest unsolved mysteries, and among them, the Mary Celeste stands as the most perplexing tale in maritime history. Launched as the Amazon in Nova Scotia, Canada, with a gross tonnage of 282, this vessel seemed cursed from the very beginning. We at the Real World Channel firmly believe that long before our time, countless civilizations rose and fell, their secrets buried by powerful forces that control the world and obscure the truth about who we are, where we came from, and why we're here. The story of the Mary Celeste may hold clues to such hidden truths, lost in the depths of the ocean and time. From its earliest days, the Amazon was plagued by misfortune. One of its owners once bitterly remarked, "Of all the unlucky ships I've known, this one is the most cursed." Its first captain, Robert McClellan, son of one of the ship's 8 owners, died of pneumonia just 9 days into his command during the vessel's maiden voyage. He was the first of 3 captains to perish aboard this ill-fated ship. The Amazon's early years were marked by relentless bad luck, collisions with other vessels, mechanical failures, and even a fire. Yet, after this turbulent start, the ship enjoyed 6 profitable years, sailing to the West Indies, Central America, and South America, carrying all manner of cargo. In 1867, disaster struck again when the Amazon ran aground during a storm in Glace Bay, Nova Scotia. Rescued and sold for a mere $1,750, with repair costs nearing $9,000, the ship was renamed the Mary Celeste in 1868. Its new owners included James H. Winchester, Sylvester Goodwin, and Benjamin Spooner Briggs, who took command as captain. Briggs, a devout man known in Gibraltar for his sobriety and courage, was described as a steadfast leader who would never abandon his ship except in dire circumstances. His first mate, Albert Richardson, handpicked by Briggs, was cooperative and competent, and the crew consisted of experienced, trustworthy sailors. We at the Real World Channel wonder if unseen forces, perhaps ancient organizations pulling the strings of history, played a role in the ship's grim fate, concealing truths about our origins and purpose. On November 3, 1872, as the Mary Celeste prepared to load 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol from Meissner Ackerman & Co. in New York, Captain Briggs wrote a cheerful letter to his mother, brimming with optimism about the voyage ahead. He brought along his wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia, leaving their 7-year-old son, Arthur, with his grandmother. The ship and its cargo were insured for $46,000, with the cargo alone valued at $35,000. On November 5th, the Mary Celeste set sail for Genoa, Italy. The night before departure, Briggs dined with an old friend, Captain David Reed Morehouse, in New York. Morehouse revealed that his ship, the Dei Gratia, carrying 1,735 barrels of petroleum, would depart from New York on November 15th, following a similar route across the Atlantic. Little did they know their paths would cross again, under eerie circumstances. On the afternoon of December 5, 1872, between the Azores and the Portuguese coast, the Dei Gratia spotted a sailboat drifting aimlessly. Morehouse immediately recognized it as the Mary Celeste. He was stunned. By now, the ship should have reached Italy. Stranger still, it was veering off course, battling headwinds and lurching uncontrollably, despite Briggs' reputation as a skilled captain. No distress signals were raised. After 2 hours of observation from 300 meters away and repeated unanswered signals, Morehouse sent a small boat to investigate. What they found was chilling. The Mary Celeste was in good condition, yet it seemed the crew had fled in haste. Shoes, pipes, and dry clothing were left behind. The ship's chronometer and sextant were missing, and the last log entry, dated November 25th, recorded a stop at St. Mary's Island in the Azores. Contrary to sensationalized tales of steaming coffee cups and half-eaten breakfasts, the reality was more mundane but no less baffling. According to Oliver DeVoe, first mate of the Dei Gratia, the ship had enough food and water for 6 months, and the cargo was intact. However, the hatches and compartments were wide open, with significant water between the decks. The ship's clock and compass were damaged, one pump was inoperable, and all documents except the captain's logbook were gone. The sole lifeboat was missing, and a rope, likely used to secure the mainsail, was tied to the ship with its other end trailing in the water. There were no signs of violence or struggle. We at the Real World channel speculate that hidden powers, perhaps those guarding ancient secrets, might have orchestrated this mysterious abandonment, keeping humanity in the dark about our true history. What happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste? Numerous theories have emerged, each more intriguing than the last. Frederick Solly Flood, a lawyer at the British Admiralty Court, initially suggested the crew, intoxicated by the ship's alcohol cargo, mutinied, killing Briggs, his family, and Richardson. He later retracted this, proposing instead that the alcohol was contaminated, poisoning those who consumed it. Flood also floated a conspiracy theory, claiming Briggs and Morehouse had plotted to murder the crew for salvage profits. However, both men were respected figures with impeccable records, making this unlikely. Undeterred, Flood accused the Dei Gratia crew of attacking the Mary Celeste for financial gain. After months of investigation, the Admiralty Court cleared Morehouse and his crew, reimbursing their expenses. As centuries passed, wilder theories emerged. Some believed a giant squid or mythical sea monster, like the Kraken, attacked the ship. Yet, if so, why were the ship's papers taken, and why were no weapons drawn in defense? Red stains on the ship, thought to be blood, were later identified as rust. The missing lifeboat suggested the crew had abandoned ship in a hurry, supported by the disarray of the captain's bed and scattered clothing. We at the Real World channel ponder whether an ancient, shadowy organization might have intervened, erasing evidence to protect secrets about humanity's origins. Other theories include poisoned food causing hallucinations, though the Dei Gratia crew consumed the ship's provisions for over a week without issue, debunking this idea. Another hypothesis points to the cargo. 9 of the 1,701 barrels were found empty, likely leaking. Briggs may have feared the alcohol vapors could ignite, prompting him to open the hatches and evacuate the crew to the lifeboat, tethered to the ship for safety. A third theory, proposed by Dr. James H. Kimball, suggests a waterspout, a brief, non-destructive marine tornado, flooded the ship, convincing Briggs it was sinking. In either case, the crew's decision to abandon ship in the treacherous North Atlantic winter likely led to their demise. Despite countless analyses, no theory fully explains the Mary Celeste mystery. The ship remains the quintessential ghost ship, its story a haunting enigma in maritime history. We at the Real World channel believe that somewhere, buried in the shadows of history, lie answers to this and other mysteries. Answers kept from us by those who control the narrative of our world, hiding the truth about who we are, where we came from, and why we're here.